Time to debunk another anti-vaxxer conspiracy. This time what's circulating is that the polio vaccine was a complete hoax. And instead, what caused the rapid decline of polio cases in America was the banning of the synthetic insecticide known as DDT. But let me just give a few reasons why there is no possible way this could even be correct. Even if you don't trust scientists, just hear me out. For one, DDT is a synthetic insecticide, which basically means that it was man-made and kills bugs en masse. Meanwhile, polio is a virus, which basically means it's just a little protein pellet that has DNA or RNA in it, and it basically just infects an organism and replicates inside of it until that organism dies. So the only way that DDT could even affect any type of virus, including the polio virus, is if there is an insect that transmits a virus, as DDT can kill that insect, thus making it not transmit that virus. In fact, DDT is used for this purpose in countries like India and Africa, but we can get to that later. Now, if you still don't believe me about DDT having nothing to do with the polio virus, let's talk about a little bit of history. Starting with when polio as a disease was discovered, which was in 1840. That's when polio cases started to be identified. The virus itself that caused polio wasn't identified until about 1908, but the cases of polio themselves were identified back in 1840. Meanwhile, DDT wasn't even created until 34 years later in 1874. And if we still want to talk about dates, let's talk about this chart that shows polio cases between the dates of 1910 and 2022. As you see this huge spike right here, well, the top of that spike hits at around 1953. Now, it isn't until 1954 when this second spike takes place, in which the first polio vaccine was going through its national field trials. So people started taking the polio vaccine, which caused this decline in polio cases. Now, if you look at this second dot right here in the midst of the decline, that's 1955, whenever the polio vaccine finally got licensed after all of the field testing. And from there, we see a rapid decline in polio cases until it reaches basically zero. In contrast, DDT wasn't banned in the US until you get to about right here in 1972. So there's literally no correlation here at all. And remember in the beginning of the video when I mentioned India and Africa still using DDT in order to mitigate malaria? Well, according to the World Health Organization, India has been polio-free since March of 2014, and Africa has been polio-free since August of 2020. So, yeah, better luck next time.